All righty, welcome everybody. I hope you're having an amazing Saturday afternoon, and welcome to the launch of How I Emerged as a Leader in Male-Dominated Industries, 52 Practical Tools to Assist Females to Navigate Leadership and Growth by the amazing Tinyiko Motileni. My name is Maria Isa from Maisha Marketing Consulting, and I'm thrilled to be your host for this exciting event. I would like to just go over a little bit of a few ground rules so that we are able to enjoy this as seamlessly as possible. If you're not a speaker, please make sure that your video is off and that your mic is on mute. And if you have any questions, there will be a section specifically for that. I will let you know about that just before. So please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Today, we're here to celebrate the launch of a book that is both timely and inspiring. In a world where gender equality is still a work in progress, this book sheds light on the unique challenges faced by women leaders in male-dominated industries. It offers valuable insights, personal stories, and practical advice on how to overcome these challenges and emerge as a leader. During this event, we'll hear from the author herself, who will share with us her personal journey and the lessons she has learned along the way. We'll also have a Q&A session where you can ask the author any questions you may have about her experiences or the book itself. So without further ado, it is my absolute pleasure to introduce you to the author of How I Emerged as a Leader in Male-Dominated Industries, Tinyiko Motileni, also affectionately known as Coach Tinyiko. Tinyiko has worked for 22 and a half years in male-dominated industries. During those years, she experienced both the good and the bad moments of being a female leader in male-dominated industries. After finishing her MBL, which is a Master of Business Leadership qualification with UNISA, she decided to follow her passion and calling of becoming a leadership and business coach, where she completed a coach training program with Yalusa Academy, which is affiliated with Comensa, which is Coaches and Mentors of South Africa. Now, she is coaching and mentoring through programs and books that will help females cultivate their mental strength to make sound decisions that will enhance their leadership skills and allow them to navigate their careers with ease and confidence without fear of failure like their male counterparts. She has written this book to share her story and inspire other women to pursue their dreams, no matter how daunting the obstacles may be. I am honored to be a part of this event, and I hope that you'll find it insightful, informative, and inspiring. So sit back, relax, and get ready to be inspired by an incredible story of a woman who has emerged as a leader in male-dominated industries, Tinyiko Motileni.
Hello, hi everyone. Hi guys. I am so excited today. I'm sure everybody have seen the video. I am so excited and pleased, and thank you so much. This launch was not going to be possible if you guys didn't accept the invitation. So I would like to thank you so much for accepting the invitation. All right, so I was trying to share, my presentation, my first presentation. So please bear with me. Let me take it so that I can be able to share it with you. I think it's this one. I'm just opening the presentation just now. Okay. All right. Then I can share it with you. Okay. Is it visible enough to everyone?
Yes.
Or maybe I must go for, what do you call it? Slideshow. Yeah, okay, let's do the slideshow so that everybody can see. Okay, yes, I think everybody can see. All right, guys. My name is Tinyiko Motileni. Maria has already introduced most of the things about me. So I was born 44 years ago in Winterfeld. I was born to Daniel Motileni and Alina Motileni, of which they are my parents. They are late at the moment. So they raised me in a place called Winterford, the farm area, okay? So my childhood memory is that I never wanted to go to school. I don't know why. You know, I never wanted school at all. I resisted going to school. You know, they struggled. My parents struggled to get me to us. So I was very, very much resistant of school. But at the same time, I was quiet and I was very much, I was clever, I was intelligent, you know, to school. I would make sure that, you know, I only make sure that I get to between position 1 and 3. So I was very much intelligent, but I didn't want to go to school. I don't know why. Those things doesn't really, you know, match up for me. And I was very much competitive. You know, when we get to class, I would be competitive with other boys. You know, most of the time, you know, boys, the ones who are very much clever, you know, in class, you know, they will always get these high marks and everything. I remember there was this guy called Philemon Matambani. So I think he's a doctor at the moment. And me and him would always fight for position number 1 every time, because in the top 10 of the class, there was only boys, you know. So I told myself, I'm not going to be, I will be on the top 10. I mean, I'll be number 1 in class. These boys are not gonna be in front of me. You know? So I would always have this competitive edge, you know, with boys, you know, and when I was at school. And I think maybe that's where my my coaching of women in the male-dominated industries came from, you know. So I would tell the guy that, you know what, we're going to write a maths test and who gets better marks. And then after writing that exam, I think the teacher gave Philemon Matambani 98 and I got 97. We went and did the remark. No, and I was the first one. I can't remember. I mean, I remember that. No, I was the first one, and I was number 1 for that maths test. That's how competitive I was with boys when I was still young. Okay. Then at the age of 18, I gave birth to my twins, Petunia Motileni and Portia Motileni. And at that time, I was already in college, you know. I think I was upgrading, my physical science. I was already in college at that time. So, guys, with that note, I really, really want you to understand that my educational background, was very much, I don't know, it came easy to me, to go to school. After I have went through the high school, the primary, the middle, and the high school, with our age, we had to go through middle to primary, middle, and high school. Nowadays, there's only school, okay? So after that, then it was very easy for me to go to school. So to go to varsity. And every year, I do not remember in the past 22 years, I will be studying something every year. And for me, it was very much easy because I needed information. I was eager to find information everywhere I can, So because I was at work, the only thing that I could do, it was to apply. And most of the time, the what you call them, the companies that I was working for, they could give bursaries for employees and every. Then I did my quality systems. That was the first one with SABS a long time ago. Then I did my supply chain management, and I did my diploma in ceramic technology, and I did my BTech, and I did my management development program until the level of master's degree in business leadership. So then after that, I went and do the coach training with Yelusa. And then I also did my advanced farm training because I'm a farmer on the other side, okay? So that is my educational background. For me, this was very easy to do. I couldn't finish a year and say I didn't study anything, So I could study every year of my 22 years in the industry, okay? So the industry background, I did work at Beers laboratory research in the lab. And then after I went to manufacturing, which was in Johnson Tiles. And then I started getting into a ceramic industry, whereby I was in open cast mining and I was in face brick manufacturing. Then I think I was very much, I was tired of the industry of some sort because I stayed a long time in face brick and open cast mining. Then I decided I want to move to a different industry, only to find that I go straight into the male-dominated industry again, which is car manufacturing. So I went and worked in Nissan, Then after, I think I stayed in Nissan for 3 to 5 years, if I'm not mistaken. Then I had to come back again where I got tired and I told myself I'm going to change again. I went back again into the mining industry until I think it was last year. Yeah, I think last year, until last year, February. Okay. Then I decided I'm going to concentrate on my businesses. Okay. So currently, I'm a leader business coach. So I coach women who are leading in male-dominated industries, or even women who are working in male-dominated industries. I'm also a farmer, and I've also started a property rentals business. So that is what I currently do, right? So I just want to talk about my biggest challenges while I was in the industry, in the male-dominated industry per se. The first one is that I was never led by a woman. I longed for that, guys. I really thought if I was led by a woman. If I had a woman manager, that person was going to help me, you know, with the challenges that I had when I started in the industry. So I was left to navigate my growth in the industry alone. And it was very, very hard for me, of which is one of the things that I'm going to explain go on, and some of the things that the speakers are going to explain. And then with that said, I was double handled by both black and white males. And you will understand when you read the book, you will understand what I mean by double handled by both black and white males. You will understand that very clear. Hence, I started my coaching business. I don't want the next generation to be, you know, at the same space. Even though now, my coaches, the people that I coach, I still see the same challenges that I had when I was in the industry. But I've just had to push on. I just had to be the light. I just had to make sure that you know, they do not suffer the way I suffered when I was in that industry. So I'm trying to give them, you know, that little light that they can use in order for them not to suffer. Okay. So that is, those are the two challenges. And the other thing that I think why women leave their jobs in the male-dominated industry, I think it's a lack of support. That's the first thing. The second thing is the correct foundation. They do not have, you know, the correct foundation on how to handle the industry, and hence they ended up leaving the industry if they are called for the industry. Okay, and I had this scenario, and I've seen it. I've seen the scenario that are often mistaken for leaders and bosses when they are in the female-dominated industries. They are often mistaken. But when a woman is in the male-dominated industry, she's has to be a PA, an assistant, you know, a supervisor, you know, those lower levels than management, you understand? So we are, it's like a very good example. I was in the office, and my office, it was written production manager, you know, at the door. And all of a sudden, a guy came in and knocked, and then found me in the office sitting on the chair, you know, of a production manager. And I was working, and there was no man to insinuate that maybe this office is the man's office or whatever. And the guy had the audacity to ask me, where is the production manager? You know? So that was my problem. Where is the production manager? And I looked at him, I was like, but for God's sakes, I mean, like, you think I'm what, you know, who am I, you know, sitting in the production manager's office? Maybe I'm a secretary or tea lady or whatever the case may be. I was very baffled by the way the guy asked me in confidence that, where is the production manager? And I was sitting there as a production manager. So that is why I had these two scenarios of why do we have to be mistaken for lower positions, either than leaders, either than managers in the male-dominated industries. But when men go to the female-dominated industries, automatically they are mistaken for bosses. You know, they are mistaken for leaders, you know, for managers, for everything. You understand? So that was my challenge. So in so saying, guys, I just want to say to you, someone is sitting in the shade, you know, today because someone planted a tree a long time ago. And that is Warren Buffett. It's a phrase, Warren Buffett. So today I am planting a seed, you know, for somebody so that somebody can sit under that shade, you know, next time. So I'm planting that seed so that I can prepare the next generation to be in a position whereby they get into the male-dominated industries and they are confident and everything is okay for them to be able to lead in the male-dominated industries. Okay. So thank you so much. This will be the end of my first presentation. Over to you, Maria.
Thank you so much, Tinyiko. Wow, you have given us such amazing information just about your journey, but also an example of what you experienced within the industry yourself, and how it's interesting how men just automatically, as you said, with confidence, you know, they had the confidence to believe that you were not a leader and treat you as if you were less than. But it's who's to say that as women we're not able to fill these positions and do great within them. And that's why we need to have the support, and we need to have this the right networks and actually uplift one another. And that's what I love about your book. You bring all these practical tools that women can actually use on a day-to-day basis to further cement and leverage their leadership and ensure that they grow their teams accordingly and show that women are actually needed in these industries in order to get that growth. Thank you so much, Tinyiko. I'm really excited to be here and to learn more also from our speakers, who I'm going to introduce shortly, who'll be sharing their experiences as well as letting us know what industries they've been in and what their experiences have been, and give us some insights as to what to do within circumstances. So it's my pleasure to introduce our first guest speaker, Rahava Matobela. She's a resilient woman who was born 45 years ago, born and bred and grew up at the rural village of, I hope I can pronounce this correctly, Hamatala. I hope that was right. Sodoma, matriculated in 1996 at PT Matala SS, alumni of Tshwane University of Technology. She joined a male-dominated industry in 2002 as a sorter. Was then promoted to dispatch manager from 2015 to date. Her motto is, we must never underestimate our capabilities. I love that so much. Thank you so much, and over to you, Rahava.
Hey, good afternoon, good afternoon, good afternoon, South Africa. This is the day the Lord made, and we are rejoicing today. I am so excited, very excited. One of our own, Tinyiko Motileni, wrote a book, Immersed in Male-Dominated Industry. Well done, my friend. Well done, my friend. And I'm so honored to be a speaker on the launching of the book that will just came handy on us. Okay, I'm so excited, yeah? All right. If you accept the call to leadership, you must be willing to be misunderstood. You must be willing to be criticized. You must be willing to be opposed. You must be willing to be accused and even rejected. Yes, when I started my career, I started right at the male-dominated industry, but as a general worker. For that time, it wasn't a challenge because you are just a general worker, just a woman, okay, doing those odd jobs. Okay, I didn't see any problem. But when I've been promoted to the managerial position, that's where I see the challenges of working in a male-dominated industry. Yes, I'm enjoying it with a lot of challenges though. I really enjoy working on this industry, and I'm sure I will be working in the dominated industry on those challenges. Tinyiko is here for us. She wrote a book that will came in handy to help us dealing with our men. Yeah. The challenges that I met at male-dominated industry, being promoted at managerial position. Number one, it's dealing with disciplinary case studies. It was indeed a challenge. It was really indeed, imagine disciplining a man aged your father. Growing up at the rural areas, we learned that we don't look men in the eye. Yeah, and then here I am around the table, I have to discipline him. It was really a challenge to which it's still a challenge, but I think I'm becoming better. I'm becoming better and better and better. Tinyiko, thank you for writing that book that will at least these disciplinary cases dealing with our man aged our father will be a thing of the past. The other challenges that I have, I've been confronted several times by my manager that I'm acting as a parent to my incumbent, because I mean, you are a woman, you have got children, obviously. When you see your incumbent, you see your children, but that affects your performance because, I mean, our incumbent take advantage of us, yeah? They take advantage. At the end of the day, your performance will be poor while you are busy playing a parental role. It's really a challenging to be working with a man aged my father. I will always say that because most men that I'm working with, they are aged my father. They are 50 years, 60 years, while I'm still 45 years old. Yeah. Okay. Is the industry, this question I'm asking again, is the industry transformed sufficiently? My answer is still no, because we are still have to prove ourselves, have to work double at our industry to make sure that we can do the job. Therefore, the industry is not yet transformed. We are not there in the male-dominated industry. When we are managing, we always like looking on the side, what are they going to say this time? Again, being pregnant, especially at the mining and building construction, is still a challenge to us. It's still really a challenge to us because with the moody things, working with the men, they're gonna just always judging you. And when people judge you, obviously, you will always step backward, not taking the decision, oh, what are they going to say today? Then sometimes you just kept quiet, even though you have got the better answer to improve the factory, maybe. But it's still really a challenge. Ladies, let's be hands-on. Let's be hands-on. For us to succeed in men-dominated industry, we must be hands-on. Pregnancy is not disability. We can do it. We can, whether I'm pregnant or not, let's show this man that we can do it. It's not a disability to be pregnant. Never underestimate your capabilities. Let's equip ourselves. As we see, our coach told us that she's been studying and studying. Let's equip ourselves, because if we're not equipping ourselves, they will always go ahead on us because maybe we are lazy. We gotta always say, no, I'm looking after my children. Then they will always understand that we don't know anything. Let's equip ourselves, ladies. Let's definitely equip ourselves so that we show these men that we can do it. Don't take anything personal. Don't make assumption. Always do your best. Your best will talk for you. You don't have to be perfect to inspire people. I have learned that I still have a lot to learn on this industry. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Rahaba. That has been quite insightful. And I think you've actually literally touched on something so important, that as people, especially as Black women, you know, the challenges we face when we have someone older than us that we're actually leading. How do you now navigate, you know, disciplining them? How do you navigate leading them without feeling like, you know, because for us, as you said, you can't look them in the eye, you can't raise your voice, you can't, you know, how do I say, you can't, tell them to do something, because now it's like you're telling your own father or your own mother to do something. It's such a challenge that we face as Africans in general. How do you lead those who are older than you? And also when you brought up that case of, how do you now navigate the space where, you need to be a leader, but then you've got someone who you feel a natural feeling of being a mother. But that's a trait that as women we normally do. And I feel like Tinyiko touches on that, like, how do you not lose your womanhood but still be a leader in the book? So there's lots of nuggets of wisdom in here. I can't wait for you guys to get a hold of this book. Like, wow, thank you so much for your insights. We really feel like we're all the same. Even in me, I'm not necessarily in a male-dominated industry like you guys are, but we have had effects of having to lead people who are much older than me. Now, how do I do that without seeming like I'm being rude or I'm being disrespectful? Very, very important. On to our next speaker. I'll have the pleasure to introduce Mabusha Pahole, I hope I pronounced that correctly, a visionary woman who put a great deal of energy into life, self-motivated, who was born 30 years ago. Born and bred in Pretoria in Attridgeville. Oh my good. Matriculated in 2013 at Tshwane South College in Pretoria West. She joined the male-dominated industry as a cleaner, was promoted to HMI setting operator from 2018 to 2020, and is currently a quality inspector. Her motto is, fall in love with your true self and don't shy away from making mistakes. That's how she was raised in the industry. Everybody, please welcome Mabusha.
Hello, guys. Hello. I am Mabusha Rakole. I am a quality inspector in brick making industry. I've been here for 5 years, and it is during this net tenure that I have learned, grown, and conquered my ways through heartless challenges. Miss Tinyiko Motileni, that's the name. That's why I'm standing in front of you all today, confident, tenuous, and generous. A mother of 2, aunt, sister, daughter, supervisor, manager, life coach. And there's so many more titles under her belt, which will now be adorned with the title author. Male-dominated industry, a term that speaks to my world. See, I grew up under the shadow of 2 very tall, dominant, and confident brothers, and as grateful as I am for their presence, I was also forced, in a good way, to forge my